Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Jump on, friends. We're going to be creating something cute, cute, cute. Come here. Let's go ahead and make something pretty tonight. Hello, everyone. Hi, Luz Evans here. Let me see. Close this for a minute. Okay, see if that's a little bit better. All right. How is everyone doing, friends? Jump on. Let's go ahead and get to work. We're going to be creating something cute tonight. We're going to be making a beautiful design. This is what we're making today. So let me refresh this thing. Hello. Okay, now I get to see you guys. Hello, everyone. Hi, Katie and Debbie. How are you, Debbie? Brenda and Deborah and Christine. Hi, Christine. How are you? Hello, everyone. So, my name is Luz Evans, and I want to welcome you to my page, Reads. I am the artistic designer here, and I welcome you to my Read page. Okay, we specialize in creating cute little things like this. We teach you how to make them, okay? So this is the project that we are working on this evening. I really hope that you like this cute little girl. And at the end, I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to show you what will be coming up after this design from tonight, okay? So as always, let me remind you that this one pattern is available in my Etsy shop. So if you look in the description of this video, guys, you will find a link to this one pattern, okay? You can go get it there. It's an instant download. So after you complete your purchase, you will be able to download this. Hello, hi, Steph and Denisa and Marty. Desiree, how are you? Hi, Carrie. So thank you guys. If you can just do me the honors, remember if you want to get notified when I go live, make sure that you follow my page. If you like it, that's even better. And then always remember to go and turn on the notifications. Click on that bell or even hear what we are live so you can be notified when I go live and you don't miss the cute little things that we have coming up. Okay? So remember, just as a reminder, in case you don't know it, okay, I'm assuming that everybody's familiar with downloading patterns because these are digital files. I don't mail them, okay? So please remember that the Etsy app on mobile phones and tablets does not support downloading. So the way you get around that is on your phone or your tablet, you need to access Etsy through the web, okay? So once you get to Etsy, you access your purchase record there if you have already done your purchase that way, and then you are able to download. So don't look for your download on your app because you're never gonna find it. It's not supported by the app, okay? So go to the internet on your phone, on your tablet, go to Etsy, access your purchase, and you will be able to download there, all right? And if you have not bought it yet, but you want to, and all you have is a phone or a tablet, then go to the internet first, go to Etsy, and then you'll do your purchase there. All right? So there you have it. This is what we're doing. The app, it's kind of tricky on phones and tablets. Okay, so that's why I would say if you have a computer, that's pretty straightforward. Okay, you don't have issues with that. It will take you straight to downloading. All right, friends. So let's go ahead and get to work on this. As always, I have to remind you also that your tutorial will include the supply list. So with your pattern, you get a picture of the finished product. You will also receive a list of all the supplies you will be needing And obviously you will get the patterns that you need for this, okay? So then let's go ahead and get to work, okay? Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Cherie. Hi, Michelle. How are you? So I really hope that everybody's having a good time, that you're having a good day, and you're getting ready for barbecuing tomorrow. I'm going to be off from work tomorrow, so that's great. So I had some busy day today, but it was awesome. And then, I just wanted to have fun tonight. So I said, you know what, let's go ahead and tackle this job of this awesome gingerbread. Okay, so if you do me the honors, friends, please remember to share my video. This is how you get me out there to other people that are not familiar with me. So remember, sharing is caring. So even if you don't buy anything from me, guys, but you enjoy these videos, you'll learn just by watching. Please go ahead and share my video. That would help me out tremendously, okay? So thank you so much. All right, so let me go ahead and now get my items. And we're gonna start by wrapping up the body, okay? Now, the way we're gonna wrap this up, guys, we're gonna wrap up the other two pieces, which is the head of the gingerbread, and it's going to be the feet. Now, when I go over the feet or assembling the whole doll, I want to show you that, it's an option to add the feet. If you don't want to add the feet to the design, you don't have to. This will look beautiful without feet too, okay? So, and I will show you once we get to that point. But I'm going to be needing a little bit of polyfill, okay? And I'm also going to be needing some wire. And the reason I want to use this wire is because if you've been watching me before do this, I like adding wire because it adds the support and the stability that we need on these designs, okay? So I'm going to do the addition of the wire first. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue here. And I'm going to add this piece here, okay? We're going to do it like that. So now that that is on, then I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue. And then I'm going to place or lay my polyfill on top of this. Now, don't add a big mountain of polyfill, guys. It's got to be light. You don't want a whole bunch of polyfill on here. As long as your item does not look flat, that's really all we are looking for, okay? So now here is the fabric that I am going to wrap around this piece, okay? So now, because I added the wire, guys, you see that that will be in the way, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut a little slit on this, okay? So right at the line where the wire will be, which is the center of this piece, I'm gonna cut a little slit on here. Not huge, okay? See, you can barely see it, okay? It's a small. But this will give me just the little hole that I need so I can feed the wire through it, okay? Like so. And now then, hello Marty. And then I'm just gonna start gluing this to the back of this piece, okay? So you don't need to use like a whole lot of glue either, guys. And then also apply the glue the closest you can to the edge of your piece. So I'm gonna do this process until I completely cover the piece here. Oh, and I'm doing this wrong, guys. I don't need this is not. I just noticed that. I'm telling you, my mind is going nuts. So it's supposed to be the pumpkin. It's not supposed to be the ginger. So never mind, my bad. Why was I thinking that? Probably because I've been working on some orders and I got carried away with cutting gingerbreads. So I'm gonna cut the one I'm gonna be doing that. So don't do the same thing I did, my friends. This needs to be orange because it's the pumpkin part, okay? So let me undo this real quick. Thank God I had not covered it all. And this is like an easy correction, okay? This is easy. So let me undo that. I'm gonna save this piece. I don't like throwing stuff that I can use, okay? So I'm gonna cut my piece of fabric here real quick. Oh, I'm glad I noticed that. Not got carried away, you know, a little bit with more stuff. Okay, let me look. I like to get the soft side towards the front, which is that one. That one or this? That one. Okay. So now I'm gonna do this again. Loose, loose. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, because this is the pumpkin. This is the pumpkin. It's not a regular belly. Now, if you wanted to create the gingerbread just like this with a belly, well, then you would just use the fabric I was using, like the regular gingerbread fabric. So that's good. Okay, so you can do a different look for your gingerbread doll. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad I caught it. I was like, what? It's like, all of a sudden, it's like, why is this brown? It's supposed to be orange. So how are you guys doing? How is your day going? What's the plan for the barbecue tomorrow? Okay. So now I'm going to cut the excess, friends, okay? I'm going to cut the excess of this fabric, so I don't really need this much. See, and I had even done a better job on the other one. I had cut it a little bit smaller than what I normally do. Now, guys, if you like saving fabric, well, then you know to cut this smaller, right? I don't bother with that, but I should really because it allows me to save fabric. Let me make sure that I have glue everywhere, that I don't have like empty spots. Okay? All right. So now you guys, we're going to wrap up the same way the other two. Okay? The head does not have any wire. Okay? But I do want you to add wire on the feet. Okay? This is the feet. I have already wrapped it up. I added the wire exactly the way I did this wire here. Okay? Same process for the wrapping. Wire on both the pumpkin and the feet. Okay? You don't need it on the head. All right. So now, while this cools, let's go ahead and talk about this. Now, you have seen me many times. Well, hopefully, if this is the first time you're seeing me, you can watch other videos that I have here. But if you are a regular here on my page, which many of you are, I'm going to apply the glue to this, okay? So that way we can stuff it, okay? So make sure that your glue is the closest you can to the edge of your piece. You can also use glue for fabric, okay? That should work well too. So now I am going to lay this on top, like so, and I'm going to apply pressure, okay, like so. Yes, it's very hot here in Texas. We're burning up, you guys. I barely go outside. Well, I have to go outside because I need to look after my chickens, but if I can avoid going outside, I do it because it's way too hot. And I'm going to give this, guys, a little bit of time to cool. So I'm not going to stuff it right now. I'm going to let it rest so this can have the time it needs, okay, before we stuff it. Now, let's go ahead and talk about, there's other pieces that I want to go over with you, okay? So there's going to be a nose and a couple of eyes that we're going to do for the pumpkin. And that includes also a mouth, okay? We have the nose. We have the stem that we're going to put on this pumpkin overlay, okay? This piece here, we're going to detail a little bit with some paint, or I like to use the some pastel colors, okay? And this will be the stem that will be glued to the back. And then we're also going to be having a little leaf that is going to be the part of the embellishment, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to start by adding some color to this, detailing them a little bit, and then we're going to add color to those pieces here in a minute, okay? So I recommend, guys, if you can, this is what I normally use, okay? They come in sets. I buy them at Hobby Lobby. They're oil pastel colors. You can also use regular acrylic paint. Or if you have markers, like permanent markers, okay, you can use those too without any issues, okay? So you can use, or you can also use combination of any of those. So just do whatever you feel comfortable with, okay? So I'm gonna use my brown and I'm gonna go around this piece. And I'm gonna be going around the edge and I'm gonna be highlighting some of these pieces. I normally use brown, I use black, I use yellows, sometimes depending on the kind of project I'm working. And so I like to play with those colors and see what kind of shades I get, okay? And so I'm going to go around like that, okay? And then I'm going to be using, let me get a black color here if I can find it. And I would like to add a little bit of some shading to that. I'm not sure that I see my black color. Oh yeah, I see it now. Okay, so here. So I'm gonna have that handy, okay? But look at what I'm gonna do. Right here on these sections, okay? I'm gonna start bringing some lines, like some curving, like pretending that this will be a pumpkin, right? So I'm gonna go like that. And then I'm going to turn it around and then I'm going to do it this way, like so. Now, these lines, guys, don't need to be perfect, okay? Don't obsess over, oh, it's not symmetrical, it's not perfect, this is not the same than that, you know. Don't worry about those things. Just do what you can, okay, without being too hard on yourself, okay? Remember, these are handmade items. And imperfection sometimes is what adds character to your pieces, okay? So don't stress over these things, okay? And I'll tell you because I was guilty of that too. You know, sometimes it's like we're too perfectionists, right? And you can use a little bit of fabric, or you can use also a little piece of the foam, or you can use some of these like pieces of foam, like sponges that you can buy to diffuse colors. You know, you can put it on your finger, and then you kind of go over it to diffuse those colors a little bit. Okay. Now, and at the end, guys, we're also going to be adding some highlights with white acrylic paint, okay? So remember, we're not painting these like completely, okay? We're just adding a little bit of a enhancements, right? Just shading these little sections of the pieces, okay? And so that's all I'm gonna do to that. Now, I'm gonna bring this, and I'm gonna do it also with the black. Remember, if you want to use a black marker, guys, you can do that too. It will come out really good too. I actually, to be honest, I use both. I've used both. I mean, and they work perfect, okay? Both of them do. So use whatever you have on hand and stick with that, okay? So now here, after I highlight it, so I'm gonna bring some lines. So I want to add one to the center. And then right from that, I'm going to do some other ones, okay? Like little branches on this cute little leaf, okay? And that's all I'm going to do on that. Now, again, we're going to come back and we are going to highlight with white acrylic paint, okay? But what is good about doing this is you're giving your pieces a little bit of definition, right? So I'm going to put this to the side. And then one more thing that I'm just going to do to this one, okay? So on this one, I'm going to do black. Because this is already dark. So I want something darker, okay? So black will do. So you can have a little bit of definition there. Okay, like that, see? And then again, we'll do some touch-ups with white paint at the end, okay? So my pieces now are ready. I'm gonna put them there to the side. I'm gonna come back to the arm and we're going to now, oh, and I need to do the pumpkin, okay? So let's just stop this arm. Let's just stop this arm. Do you have the same but with a ghost? Angelica, I was thinking about doing a ghost. I do have a pattern for a ghost. But to be honest, guys, I was not sure that some people would want a ghost, to be honest. I need to probably make you, like, ask you those things more. Like, I want to hear from you a little bit more about those things. I do have a pattern for a ghost with a little hat. It looks cute. It looks very cute. So maybe what I can do is I can actually do it, create a prototype, see how it's going to end up looking, and then show you. And if there's interest, I will release it. Okay. So look, guys, I have already stuffed it. Okay. We still have this opening here. So I'm just going to close it here. Like that. Hello, Debbie. How are you? Oh, Debbie. Well, what time is it there, dear? Well, thank you for making it tonight. I bet there's a big difference in time, huh? Okay. So now, guys, look, I already have the other arm. I had done it. So if you notice, this is already highlighted, but we're gonna highlight these things. Okay. We also need to highlight the arms and this. Okay. I have already highlighted the head. But let's go ahead and tackle this pumpkin. Okay, with this pumpkin, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the other two pieces. So I'm actually gonna do two different things. So I'm gonna first go with this. Okay, remember, if you use a black marker, it's fine too. If you want to use acrylic paint, that is okay too. So many different ways that you can go about giving highlights to these things. Okay. So I'm going to start here at the very edge of the pumpkin. And then right here, you're going to notice that this pattern has like a little curve. So you see this little bump here? Okay. That's going to be the bump that I'm going to use to create some lines like that. This is going to be the division of the pumpkin. Now, remember again, does not need to be perfect. Here's the other one. You're going to be able to see it on your pattern, okay? And if you want, you can kind of like consider this the center, okay? Now, some of that will be covered once we put the head, okay? So don't stress over it. So, and then I'm going to bring this one. I guess let me just close it, I guess, like that. Like so, okay? And now here, I'm going to do another one. Just follow the curve of your pumpkin, okay? So look at how easy. This is not complicated, friends. You're just basically following the curve of what you already got, okay? Look at that. So now I'm going to bring a brush, okay? Now that I have added that detail, I'm going to bring this brush, and I'm going to add a little bit of more paint, brown paint. And I'm going to highlight a little bit more around this piece, okay? So dry brush, okay, load some of your paint on it and then get rid of the excess, okay? Because we don't want too much paint on it. And then I'm going to start bringing this. You can also use red, the red color, and red on orange. You're going to notice that it's going to look darker, but it's going to be more vibrant. It's going to look a lot vibrant, which is okay. But see what I'm doing? Right here. Okay. Okay, so you see what is happening here? Okay, that's all we're gonna do to here. Now, guys, after I have done that, okay, you want to give this like a few minutes. I mean, it doesn't have to be long. You know, we're not using like a lot of paint, so it won't take long to really dry. Okay, but at this point, you might want to bring the pieces for your pumpkin, okay, and decide where you want these pieces to go. Make sure that this is centered, okay? So we have a nose that will go like that. And we have the eyes. We're going to have here. And we're going to have here. Okay? Now, before you commit to gluing anything, guys, always make sure that you bring the head first. Your pattern, guys, has a flat, kind of like a flat section. That's the section that you want towards the top, okay? Now, if you want, you can also try it towards the bottom, okay? It does not matter. You decide which way you like it best, okay? Both of them look good, okay? But before you glue this, make sure that you put this head on there. So that way you're not like gluing this too low and then these end up covering the eyes or anything like that, okay? So also make sure that they are centered, okay? That they're flat, that they're not crooked. And if they're crooked, well, then that's when you make the changes. If you want this lower, well, then you lower it. You're going to have a little bow here, depending on how big of a bow you want to create. Well, then you need to rearrange the smile of the pumpkin, okay? So always think of those things before you actually start throwing glue in there, okay? So I think right now I'm okay with it. So I'm going to start adding my glue to this. Okay? I'm going to put this there. Are you seeing this straight? I know my board is crooked. Like my table is crooked. Okay, this. Okay. So what do you think? Are you liking this? Are you getting any hearts or likes, thumbs up? Are you sharing? Okay. Like so. All right. And so that right here is our pumpkin. Okay. So now that we have our pumpkin, let's go ahead and start gluing these things. Or actually, let me first. I need to finish doing this because I did not highlight this piece. So I add highlight to the arms as well. Just a little bit, not too much. And what I'm also going to do is I'm gonna add the rickrack, okay? So after I have added that, I'm gonna bring both arms and I'm gonna do the rickrack on here. Oh, you think so? Debbie, you think so? I'm horrible at doing that. That's something I need help with. I need to take classes. I need to take painting classes because I would love to do a better job with these things. And I know that I could. There's a lot of improvement that I would like to do when coloring and things like that. And who knows? Maybe I can actually paint eyes and things like that. Oh my God, that would be like a dream come true. I'm not a painter. I've always wanted to learn, but it intimidates me because for some reason I feel that I need to know how to draw to paint. And I know that's not necessarily true, but I guess most of the people that I see that they paint so many beautiful things, and it's like they're, to me, it looks like they're drawing things too at the same time. Now, I just don't think I'm capable of that. I find it very, very overwhelming. But it would be a good thing to do, right? It could help me a lot to be able to do those things better. Okay, so now, okay, so I added that. I'm gonna do the same thing, guys, with this piece, okay? With the feet, okay? So I'm going to add my rickrack here. And I should probably add the rickrack to the head too right now before I put it on here. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. Okay, so okay, here. Oh, awesome. Okay. All right. So now that this is done, guys, we can start assembling this, okay? But I should really start working on the head before we start assembling. Okay, so now remember, this part will be optional. Maybe you might want to try one with and maybe one without, okay? So it's up to you, but this design could look perfectly okay without feet, okay? So now this, let me go ahead and do the rickrack on this space. And so what I'm gonna do here, guys, is I'm gonna start from the top and go around it, okay? So, and I am gonna try to do the hot glue, but very carefully. I'm barely pushing on my gun because rickrack is not very thick, and because it's got the zigzag pattern, right? If you put too much glue in there, you would be able to see it. So I'm trying to minimize that. Okay, it will be like that. So barely squeezing this, barely squeezing any glue. Slowly, so I don't burn myself. Okay. Put my fingers in there. Okay, and this I'm gonna cut. Okay, and that's what it looks like. Okay, so now we're gonna bring this back. I'm gonna need a little piece of fabric because you have seen me do this on the back, right? So I'm gonna need a couple of them. So now I'm gonna add this. So guys, 1 to 2 fingers at most of this part is where you're gonna apply glue, okay? Preferably 1, okay? We're not bringing this way too low, okay? You don't want to use 3 fingers or 4 fingers or even, all your hand here, like 4 fingers on there. No, just 1 to 2 at most, okay? That's where you're gonna apply your glue. And then you are going to bring this down there. Try to do your best at being centered, okay, and straight, okay? Centered and straight. Yeah, that looks okay. All right, and then I'm gonna bring this back, and here I'm gonna secure it with glue and a piece of fabric on top of it so it can keep it in place, okay? That piece of fabric is what is going to lock this wire in there. Okay. Bring this. Now, if you are gonna hang this on a door, then at this point you can also add like a little, a little piece of twine or ribbon or whatever. You make a loop and then glue it now, and then we can cover the back at the end. Okay. All right. So now the way we did that, we're gonna now do the feet. But look, this is what I was telling you. If you wanted this without feet, now here, that's, you would just leave it as that, okay? And at the end, we're also gonna be adding our arms here, okay? All right, so now, but I do want to add this so you can see how I am gonna do it, okay? So now, on this one, you will add more glue. It's almost this whole piece, okay? Because you don't wanna get to see this section here. I mean, you can if you want to, but I don't think that looks really nice, okay? So I'm gonna bring it down as to where I don't see it. I just see the legs, okay? So I'm going to apply my glue straight and then bring this in like so, okay? Make sure that that is straight. Let me look at it from the front. Yep, she's straight. Okay, and then what I did with that head, I'm gonna do the same thing with this back here, okay? So let me cut a piece of fabric from the same fabric that you're cutting your, after you have cut all your pieces, save some of those. Like that. And this will go on top, like so. Like that. All right. So after you do this, guys, you want to allow time for drying or cooling, right? Hi, Terry. How are you? Thank you, Yvonne. It's super easy, guys. Super easy. This is easy, guys. All right. So look at what we got right now. Okay. So now let's make the magic happen on here. Okay. So we're going to bring our eyes. We need ice. We need a nose. And then we're going to draw the mouth. Okay. We're going to do those. Now this piece, guys, always bring it in with you first because it's important where we're going to glue the eyes. So again, don't glue these things first because then what if you don't leave enough room for the eyes, okay? So always bring all your pieces, lay them on this space. If you are happy with it, well then you know where things are going to go, okay? And if you need to bring that higher, well then you need to adjust, okay? So, but anyway, so that's where it's at right now. I think I'm going to end up moving this a little bit higher because I'm going to have a smile, okay? I need room for that, okay? So I think that's where it's going to go, right there, okay? And so now I'm going to add the glue to this section first. I'm not going to add the glue to this part. I'm going to do it to this section first because sometimes I have made this mistake that I just go and I glue it here and then I do too much, I do it too high, and then I can see it from the back, and I don't want to do that, okay? So what I do instead is I apply it to the top of my piece, because I know that's where, you know, it's gonna be glued anyway, okay? And then I lay this right on top, okay? Like so. Like that. Like so. All right. And now I can secure the ends of this. Just on the fabric, okay, on the fabric. That's another reason I don't do it to the piece because then if it's outside of the fabric, the glue will be seen. I would rather just apply it to the fabric instead. Okay, like that. So now that I have done that, then I'm gonna proceed to glue my eyes, okay? So let me glue the eyes. Okay, there. Be careful, not burn myself, okay? And then I'm gonna do this other one. Careful. Put that there. Hold them in place. And in a minute, we're gonna come and color a little bit with some eyeshadow or makeup. Debbie, no, this template is sold separately, okay? It's done separately. Okay, so now I'm going to glue that nose right there, guys. The eyes, guys, are sold separately because those have to be made too. And many people have already bought the tutorial. And so that's why I decided to do it separate. However, I'm thinking maybe in the future what I need to do is I can include the pattern of the eyes. But I will, if you don't want to buy the tutorial, I'll include that in with the pattern, but the price will be a little bit higher. Okay. All right. So how about that? All right. So look at this. Oh, what? How are you liking this, guys? Look at how adorable this is. Okay, guys. So now let's go ahead and do a mouth. Okay. Let's do a mouth on here because we need to do a little bit of work on there. So I'm gonna bring my circles. However, I also, guys, gave you a pattern for the smile. Okay. I included a smile pattern. Okay. That looks like this. So you would just lay it on top, okay, and mark that smile, okay? But I'm gonna use my template. And I gotta remember which one I did. I think it was the 1.5. It was the 2. I think it was the 1.5. Yeah, I think it was the 1.5. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my template, okay? Buy some, guys, if you like this arts and crafts, I encourage you to buy templates like this because it can help you a lot to create your smiles and, you know, some touches here and there. So I'm going to put it towards the center, right? I want to make sure that I do my best at centering this, okay? And I'm going to bring my black marker. This marker is for fabrics, okay? It's a marker that I use for my fabrics. Let me find it. I was working with it earlier. And so I'm going to do this smile here. I'm going to draw it. Okay. Like so. All right. So that's the smile. Then here, right under it, guys, I'm going to make like a semicircle right under that. Okay. Like that. And I'm going to fill it in with this same marker. Then at the end, I'm going to come back with red acrylic paint, okay? And then I'm going to fill in with a little bit of the red color, okay? That's what we're going to do. All right. But that's what all I'm doing in regards to that smile. Then we're going to be adding some cheeks here, okay? But we'll get to that in a minute. Now, this right here, I'm going to go ahead and glue that there, okay? So that just gets glued to the back of that. So a little bit of hot glue. And this will be glued here towards the center, okay, like that. And then I'm going to bring the little leaf, okay, and then I can glue it like that, or I can glue it this way, or maybe perhaps if you want to do two of them, you can too, okay, but I'm gonna put it this way because I want to do a little bow here on this side, okay. So right here on this section, a little bit of glue, and I'm just gonna place this in an angle, a little bit like that, a little tilted, okay, like so. All right, and now what I'm gonna do is, before I do any of the painting on here or anything like that, let's go ahead and add the covers on the back, okay, and I hope that I don't mess up that face. Let me put something on it like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and cover the back. So I'm going to have a cover for the head, cover for the feet, okay, and I will move it here in a minute. And I have a cover for the pumpkin. Which way is this? This way, like so, okay. So I'm gonna start with the head first, and then I'll move down from there. I need more glue. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Oh, thank you, Sandy. You're enjoying it. So thank you, friends. Are you sharing my video? If you haven't, please do it for me. I very much appreciate it. Okay, so now I'm doing that. Okay, doing this. Make sure you add some pressure to this. Now I'm going to do this. That. Here I get too long. And get rid of this. Too much. I squeezed too much of it. Before I glue the rest, guys, okay, I'm gonna glue the feet, okay? So before I do too much of this, okay, like that, I'm gonna glue this first. So, and once we finish doing this, we'll turn it over and then we'll apply pressure on it from the front so it can do good and nice, okay? All right, so now let's do here, okay? And we'll do this like that, like so. Like so. Make sure you cover all that good. Okay, and so now, see, all our back is covered. Okay, now if you are neat, guys, if you are a neat cutter with your, I mean, if you cut your pieces of your fabric neatly and all that stuff, then if it does not bother you to see the back, then you can leave it without cover. I do cover it because I don't like seeing it and I don't like seeing things raw like that. So that is the only reason behind me covering it, okay? So, but anyway, okay. So now here it is. So now all we have to do, guys, is I'm gonna add my arms. Okay, so let's just start adding these arms. A little bit of blue here. I'm gonna add the other one there. Make sure that you don't cover too much of the pumpkin because you want it visible, right? You want to be able to see that pumpkin. So don't bring it towards like that. Bring it out. Little out. Okay? Out. So you can clearly see this guy here. That's mine. Okay, and now let's go ahead and do a couple of bows. One for that and one for the neck. Okay. So I do some I use some burlap. I mean not burlap. Some raffia. I got me some raffia because I say, well, I wanted a little rustic and I wanted a little different. So I got some raffia. That's what I ended up doing. So I'm going to create a couple of things here. Okay. And this one, I'm going to put it here and then I'll do a bow on top. But what I want to do is I want to tie it up first. So I'm going to tie this up at the center. And I'll do the detailing of the face in just a minute. We'll do these at the very end, the addition of the bows at the very end. So I'm gonna cut these because I want to see the fuzzy part of it. Okay, so but I'll do that once I'm getting ready to put it on there. So I'm gonna do that, and then I want a bow for this front. So I'm gonna find this. And I'm gonna do 4 loops on here. That's 2. This is 3. And then 4 here. With my messed up finger, I cannot. It gets in the way. I cannot hold it well. Right here, I'm going to use my pipe cleaner again, using pipe cleaners to hold it. So I'll fix it here in just a second. So this is going to go like that. And it's going to go on top of this here. Okay, so we're going to do it like this. And we'll fix it once we put it all in there. Okay, that's the concept. Okay, so now in addition to this, I need another one for that bow. And that one, I'm just going to do it with the raffia. Okay, just a simple bow, not very complicated. Okay, that I can just do here. So I'm gonna get a little bit of this. So I'm gonna make a loop, okay, and then I'm gonna go around it. This is kind of like that when you tie up your shoes, your tennis shoes. That's the kind of bow I'm doing. Okay, simple, basic, very basic, because I don't want something too huge up there. Now you can also, if you want to use the natural looking raffia, but then that is fine too if you don't want to look it too orangey. Okay, that would be kind of like up to you. Okay, but here is the kind of bow I want. Now it's not gonna be as long. I don't want it too long. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this a little bit, and this I'm gonna open that up. Okay, but that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm gonna put them to the side. And now let's go ahead and detail this front a little bit, okay? So we need to bring our paint back, and this is gonna be white paint. And I need somewhat of a thinner brush. So let me get something a little bit skinnier. Oh, and I need to also add the eyes, a little bit of color around them, okay? So we'll do that. Okay, so get this one. Okay, so I'm gonna add first a little bit of brown color on these eyelashes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, right? I mean, they look perfectly okay, they look pretty. But I like to add a little bit of more color behind it. So I'm gonna use my old makeup, right? This is regular makeup, guys, okay? I buy it cheap for my arts and crafts. So I'm going to just go over the eyelashes with a little bit of that. And you're gonna start seeing how it's looking a little bit brownish behind it. That's what I want. That's why I'm doing this. It just enhances that, I think. Okay, so I'm doing that on this side too. On this side. This is, I think it's 18 inches tall, if I'm not mistaken. If not, we can measure it. All right, so look at how pretty. Okay, so now that we have done that, guys, then let's go ahead and now do the highlighting with white. All right, so I'm gonna bring now the white paint. And I'm gonna load some paint here on my brush. Okay, and I'm gonna start highlighting. And we're gonna start the highlights everywhere. So we're gonna start with the arms. Let's start with the arms. And we'll work our way around it, okay? You hear my chickens? My beautiful chickens. Okay. So here on this, okay, like that. And here I can go like that, okay? And you can go to like that. I mean, it's up to you what kind of highlights you want to do, you guys, okay? So just be happy with whatever highlights you're doing. Whatever you think that looks good. And I go on top of the pumpkin. You see that? Okay. Here. Okay. Then here. See how these pieces, they don't need to be like too much, like too heavy or anything, but you know, little highlights just make them pop, right? Yeah. And so look at how cute this looks. Doesn't it just look awesome? Yeah. Okay, now the pumpkin, because I forgot to do the pumpkin. Let's go this. Add some highlights to this beautiful pumpkin here. Okay. See how it looks different? So it might not seem like a lot to you, but it does a lot for the design. Little bit of highlight. Now I'm gonna do the cheeks and I'm gonna do the mouth, and then I'll come and do a highlight on the cheeks here in a minute. But here on the nose, just a small highlight like that. See, like that. All right. So now I'm gonna get the red paint, okay, and I will do the cheeks. So let me get that. And I'm gonna use this. Now, you can find some of these at Hobby Lobby, Michael's. You can also find them at Dollar Tree, okay? So I'm gonna use the smaller one that I have. This is about, let me see, if I am to measure this. This is about the 7/8 of an inch, the 7/8 of an inch, okay? 7/8 of an inch, that's the size of this. So I'm going to load my red paint. Make sure that you load that paint really good on here, okay? And I'm gonna get rid of the super excess of it, okay? And just like this, I'm going to put it on the side, and I'm gonna add a little bit of pressure, and then slowly, but without moving it, I'm just gonna turn it around, okay? And then bring it up like that. So I'm gonna repeat the same process now to the other side, and let me pay attention because you wanna try to do it as even as possible. My husband, I have a big window here. My husband comes and knocks on my window. All right. And if it's not perfect, guys, don't worry about it, okay? Remember, they're handmade. It's not a machine doing them. Okay. All right. So see that? Okay. So now all I'm gonna do, I need to detail now that mouth, right? I want to add a little bit of red highlights in there. So let me get some red paint on my brush. Red paint on my brush. And this is kind of like what is going to give it that smile look. Once you, like, see how the red is going to set it off, okay? It sets it off really nice. Okay, so right here. I'm just going to go. And you don't even have to do like a lot of paint. You see that? How it immediately enhances that smile. I mean, it's a tiny little something, but it makes a huge difference. Okay, so look at that. All right, so now here on those, okay, I would normally wait for them to be dry. Okay, you wait for that paint to dry, or you blow it with your blow dryer. Okay, but because I cannot wait until they dry, I'm gonna get another brush, the one that I was using earlier with my white paint. What did I do with it? Oh, right here. And I'm gonna do just highlights on the cheeks. Now, if you don't want to do highlights, you can do with the back of your brush. You can load some paint and do 3 dots, kind of like freckles, right? I like to do that too sometimes on some of them. I've done it with the other gingerbreads. I think that's what I did. But anyway, so I'm gonna load a little bit of paint on here, and then right here on top, okay, like a semicircle like that. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do to the cheeks, like that. Okay, like so. And that's all we're gonna do to that. So now I'm going to, let me clean my hands because I have paint in here, and I'm gonna touch that gingerbread and I'm gonna mess it all up. Okay, so now guys, let's go back to the adding the bows, okay? So here, I'm gonna cut this, okay? And I'm gonna cut like that. And then here, I'm gonna cut it like so. And this is gonna go right here. So I'm gonna add a little bit of glue to the back of this. And I'm gonna glue this right in there, like so. And I'm gonna put like a little rhinestone there, like an acrylic rhinestone. Now I'm gonna do the same kind of process or concept to the neck, okay? So I'm going to cut this a little bit. Just a little bit because I want more there. And some more of these being fussy like that, like so. Like this. And make sure they're about the same. Cut a little bit like that, right? About the same size. Okay. And now I'm gonna glue this here. So a little bit of hot glue there. And I'm gonna glue this there. Like so. And this bow that I had previously made is gonna go here. I'm gonna do it like that. So I'm going to add glue on top of this. And then I'm going to do this here like so. I don't want to burn myself, so I got to be careful with the way I move these things. Okay, like that. Okay. And these things, you can leave them long, or you can cut them if you want. And the other one, I think I cut them a little bit. Okay, like so. Like that. And then right here, I'm going to do some rhinestones, okay? So let me bring my rhinestones. Okay. So yes, guys, you can customize this to anything, friends. This pattern, guys, you don't necessarily have to do that. You can use this whole pattern to make a regular gingerbread. And obviously you change just the embellishments to whatever this season is. I mean, you can do obviously Christmas, you can do spring. Can you imagine seeing this with a bunny here or a chick, here? So you customize it to whatever season or whatever theme it is that you're going for. But it's super easy to do. I mean, you just gotta kind of like figure what kind of changes you can do to it, what kind of embellishments you can give it, and then all of a sudden you end up with a different style, with a different design. Okay? But here is now the gingerbread officially completed. Okay? So this is what she looks like. So now she right here is considered done. Okay? So this is now your gingerbread complete and done and ready to go. Yvonne, if you look in your supply list, I give you a link to the eye set that you need where this is included. Okay? So check your supply list and look at the link I give you there. Okay? All right. So now, isn't this just adorable, friends? Isn't that just great? What do you think? You like it? You giving me hearts or something? It's just adorbs, isn't it, Janice? Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. Now, Okay, so now while I have you here, I want to show you other things. Okay, so now this completes our tutorial for today, guys. Remember this pattern. It's available in my shop. If you want to go check it out, you will find a link of this in the comments. You'll see a pinned link. That link is straight to this pattern. And while you're there, you might as well look at the other items that I have there for sale. Okay. So now let me show you some beautiful surprises that I have for you. Okay. And then I want you to tell me what you want to do. I want to hear from you. Okay. Instead of me making a decision on them. Okay, so tell me how you want me to go about this next set of patterns. Okay, would you rather me list them separately, or you would rather me bundle them for you? Okay, so let me show you. I'm gonna put this little girl to the side. Okay, and let's go over the beautiful designs that I have ready for you. I have 4 different ones. Okay, and this is looking ahead into fall and Halloween. All right. So this one you saw because I shared this beautiful piece, right? I show you a picture of me holding this beautiful lady right here. Okay. So I'm going to be releasing a pattern for this unless you would like me to bundle them. Okay. So the sweet witch, whimsical witch, will be available for as a pattern. That's ready to go. Now, let me show you because I finished this dude too. Okay, look at this beautiful scarecrow. Okay, this guy is another pattern that I will be offering. Okay, so he is gorgeous. He is gorgeous. Let me know what you think. Oh, thank you, Vaughn. Awesome, dear. So just check your supply list and you'll be able to see the link there for the ice, okay? You'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So this beautiful guy, guys, okay? So it's coming also as available with as a pattern. And you know, I was thinking about listing them as I was working them. So one by one. So tell me if that is okay, because sometimes it's better to do it that way because maybe some people have preferences, right? They don't necessarily like one, maybe they like something else better. So whatever the situation is. But this guy will be available soon. Now, in addition to this guy, I want to show you something else. What do you think about this cutie patootie here? Okay. Now, this guy is coming too. Okay. This is something I'm going to be releasing very soon as well. Now, in addition to this guy, I kept on looking at him and I completely fell in love with him. But I said, you know what? This pattern is so pretty. I can turn it into something else. Okay. And so I figure, if anything, maybe when I release this pattern, I can include a different style with this. And now let me show you what I can come up with. Okay. So I can combine this one with his little twin, and I'll show you which one it is. Okay. Maybe these 2 guys here can get together and start cooking or baking the pumpkin spice pie. Okay, so look at this. Who's gonna join him? So look at this. Maybe these 2 guys here can get together and they're starting baking the pumpkin spice cream pies. Pie, what kind of pie you like? You like the turkey, Janice? It's so cute, isn't it? It's a baby turkey. It's a baby turkey. It got inspired because of my chickens. Oh, one by one, Yvonne. I think that's a great idea. That's what I was thinking too. So that way you guys pick whichever you like. And so you just decide which to do. However, these 2, I think that they will be bundled together. Okay. Because it's just same pattern, just different variations. Okay. Just different variations. Love the pie, guys. Oh, thank you, Steph. I love them too. You have a done yourself loose. Oh, Janice. Janice, I have been so busy. And I have many other things lined up too. But remember, I'm a one-woman show. So I want to, just try to take it easy too, not kind of getting crazy because I can get very overwhelmed sometimes if I just tackle too many things at the same time. But anyway, so it's a lot of cuties, a lot of cutie patooties. So tell me what you think. Which one is your favorite out of all the ones I have shown you? Oh, this is so pretty. It just makes my heart warm. It makes me so much thinking about the holidays. This because of the pie, probably sweets, and because I have not been able to eat sweets. Maybe that's why I'm fantasizing over the pie. But this guy is adorbs too. And then this cute. Then I need to do more Halloween. Oh, for Halloween, guys. Or maybe I'm debating. I'm debating whether I should this next project for my guys in my pattern of the month club or just release it here as a pattern. I'm not sure. I have not made up my mind. But there are going to be some Halloween and there are going to be some candy holders for Halloween. But they're just adorable. So there's like 4 or 5 of them. And I think they are just so pretty. Oh, very, very pretty. Hey, Tina. Oh, thank you, honey. This guy is super handsome. He is super handsome. That face is super sweet. And this one I like because she's goofy looking and just adorable. Who can she possibly scare? Nobody. But I want to just hug her, give her a hug and a kiss, and tell her you're beautiful. You're beautiful, you happy witch. But this one is just so warm. It just makes me smile so much. This one because this pie. Now, guys, look at the possibilities with these patterns. Because look, if you were to create just the pie by itself, that would be just a reed attachment just by itself. You can sell them by couple too, right? You can create also this for Christmas. Now, if you are in my pattern of the month club, okay, you know how to make small gingerbreads there, okay? We made a baby gingerbread there with a tall doll gingerbread. You can use the small baby gingerbread and put it on top of this as if she's hanging on this or off of this pie. So you can get creative with these things, create your own style, give it your own spin, and then all of a sudden you end up with something different. Okay. So that's what I like to create for you guys. I mean, possibilities are endless, aren't they? But this is so super cute. Look at that. Isn't it just awesome? Look at that. Super sweet. All of them. I am in love with all of them. They really, all of them are so pretty. Look at this one too. Oh, who's prettier? I think she is. This one, and then the scarecrow. So who was asking me about the ghost? If you guys are interested in a ghost, well then I will put it together. I have a ghost. I have a ghost. I have a ghost that is gonna have a hat that is so cute, very cute. Cutie patootie. Ah, those need bundled. You mean the the baby rooster? I was gonna say the baby turkey and the ginger. Yeah, that's gonna be that. They're gonna be put together as a bundle. I'm gonna put these two together as a bundle. Okay, because it's two variations of the same pattern, and you need different things for each one of them, except for the base. Base is the same, and then the difference is arms and things like that, right? So I'll tell you all about it when I have those ready to go. So I'm hoping that our next tutorial here, guys, will be the witch. This is coming next. And then we'll move on to fall, which is going to be the bundle and then the scarecrow. Okay? How is that sounding to you? Would love a ghost. Okay, well then I need to get back to work on the ghost. Finish it. I have the pattern. I just have not finished it. The pipe bond, Yvonne, that's my favorite too. It's so sweet. I think it's the pie. For me, it's the pie. It makes me think of the pie. It's like, oh my God. And then cinnamon spice. Cinnamon. Oh my God. I love cinnamon, guys. I love cinnamon. I could live off of sweets only, but because I got in trouble with my health, I cannot eat any of it anymore. And if I cheat, it needs to be like a bite, and that's it. But anyway, Good Lord. All right, friends. Okay, so just to resume, this is what we did tonight. Okay, I really hope that you had fun creating this cute little girl. She's just adorbs. And give it a try. You know where to get your pattern. And then remember to follow my page so you know when I let you know that the patterns are ready. Okay. So follow the page, subscribe to notifications, click on that bell so Facebook can tell you when I post things and when I go live. Okay. All righty, friends. Any questions before I let you go? Any questions before I let you go? Because my computer is acting up. Oh, thank you, Janice. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you. All right, friends. Well, you have a wonderful evening. Take care. Be blessed. And I will see you on the next one. Okay? Good night. Bye bye.